Good morning, Matthew. How are you doing? I hope you are well and that you had a well-rested night and are ready to begin working on your IEP goals. So for today, Matthew, the IEP goal we will be going over is goal number 1. And in goal number 1, we are going to be talking about identifying and writing metaphor sentences. So you might ask, what is a metaphor? A metaphor is two unlike things compared, not using the like or as. So before we did metaphors, we did similes. And in similes, they are comparing two things using the words like or as. So the metaphor is it's different than the simile. So in the metaphor, you're comparing two unlike things, like two things that are totally different, and you are not, I repeat, not using the words like or as. So for example, we have, she was a breath of fresh air. So they're comparing two things there. However, they did not use the word like nor the word as. And over here, the snow is a white blanket. What are they comparing? They're comparing the snow and what else? And a blanket, a white blanket. They're two different things, right? A blanket is a blanket and a snow is a snow. They have no connection. They're very different, and they did not use the word like or as when comparing them. Now over here on the right side, you have a lot more metaphors, a lot of metaphors that are pretty often used. So I'm sure you all have at a point heard when they're like making fun of somebody and saying, you're just a big baby. I've heard it a bunch of times. They're like, you're a baby, you're a big baby. Here they're saying, your friend George is just a big baby. They're comparing George to a big baby, to a baby. They're two different things, and they are not using the word like or as. Another one is, you are my guardian angel. Johnny's mouth is one huge metal factory. His students are puppets on a string. I wish you weren't such a chicken. That girl over there is one beautiful fox. So here they're comparing a girl and an animal. Are a girl and an animal the same thing? No, they're not. A girl is a human and a fox is an animal. And they're comparing the girl to an animal. However, are they trying to tell her she's an animal? No. What they're saying here is that girl is beautiful. Like, she's one of a kind. She's a very, very pretty. That is what the metaphor is trying to say. And it did not use the words like or as. And there's just many more. This one is one that we always hear too. Actually, all of these. The kids at my school are all brains. So they're comparing the kids and the brains. Are they trying to say the kids are brains? No. They're trying to say that the kids are very smart. Javier thinks he's the class clown. We've heard this a whole bunch of times. What does it mean to be the class clown? Yes, they're always just making jokes, always the life of the class. They're always the ones in a very good mood, always the one trying to make everybody laugh, trying to get everybody's spirit up. Like, there's always one class clown in the class. And here they're comparing Javier to a clown without using the words like or as. Life is one long, scary roller coaster. So we've heard this one a couple of times too. And what does it mean, a long, scary roller coaster? They're comparing life to a roller coaster. Why? What does that mean to you? With life, there's a lot of ups and downs, like in a roller coaster ride. Sometimes you go up, and then sometimes you go really, really down, and sometimes you're like in the middle, and you're like everywhere. And it's never just like, a steady, long, constant line. No, there's a lot of ups and downs in life, and that is what this metaphor is trying to tell you, that in life there's a lot of ups and downs. It's never just all happiness or all sadness. And our last one, my boyfriend is my knight in shining armor. So here they're comparing the boyfriend to a knight, shining armor, and they're just saying that, oh, he's amazing, he's so protective, like without using the words like or as. So now we're going to work on metaphors worksheet. It has an orange with a smiley face on the right side, and then on the left side we have I want to say it's a mom and her son, and they're pointing at a paragraph. If you please have this worksheet, get it out so we can work on it together. So here, do not forget to write your name and the date. Today is May 13, 2021. And it says metaphors. A metaphor is a comparison of two things that are usually very different but alike in at least one way. Writers use metaphors to describe something and let the reader discover the way that things are alike. So here it says, we gazed at the grapefruit moon. And what would that tell you? Like, how do you think, actually, to begin with, what are they comparing first? What are the two things they're comparing? Yes, the grapefruit and the moon. And why are they comparing the moon to the grapefruit? Yeah, because maybe the moon is very round and big that night. Also, sometimes moons change a little, like they change color. So maybe it was a little like orangey, yellowish, like something similar to a grapefruit that they thought it looked like a grapefruit. And that's why they compared the grapefruit to the moon. And as you see here in the sentence, they are not using the words like or as. Then here in the bottom it says the author is comparing two unlike things, the moon and the grapefruit. We had already mentioned that. The comparison helps the reader imagine what the moon looks like because the reader knows what a grapefruit looks like. The moon must be round. The same way we talked about, we're like, oh, it's probably very round, very big, dimpled, and somewhat yellow. So another thing was the color that we talked about. Sometimes the moons change color. They're not always white, not always kind of yellowish. It just depends. So maybe it looked a little orangey, yellowish, yellow orange, something towards a grapefruit. That's why they're comparing those two things. So now here we have 3 and then 4. We have 7 questions. And I'm going to do one with you and you will do the rest on your own, Matthew. So here what you're going to do, it says, fill in the blank identifying what is being compared and how they look, how they are alike. So here it says, number 1, my sister is a couch potato. So what are we comparing? Yes, the sister. And what's the other thing we're comparing? Yes, you can put potato or couch potato. I don't really think it matters. I'm going to put potato. And how are his sister and the potato alike? What does it mean to be a couch potato? To begin, what is a potato? A potato is a vegetable, right? And what does the potato do? Like if you leave it there, like say here, like it's a couch potato. If you would leave the potato in the couch, what is a potato going to do? Nothing, right? The potato doesn't have legs. The potato's not it's not alive. So that's what they're trying to make you understand, that their sister is the same way. Their sister does not do anything. The sister is just laying down all day. She's a couch potato. She does not move. So how are they alike? So we're going to say they are both, we can say they are both lazy, or we can put both lazy, not moving. So how are they alike? A potato does not move. The sister does not move either. That is what you're going to do for number 2. Number 2 says your bedroom is a pig pen. Tell me first what are the 2 things they're comparing, and then tell me how they are alike. My mom is an angel. Tell me the 2 things they are comparing, and then how they are alike. In the bottom it says making metaphor. Fill in the blank with a word or phrase to create a metaphor. Remember, the 2 things must be different in almost ways, but alike in at least one thing. So here it says, the sun was a blank in the sky. So here it's the sun, and they want you to compare the sun to something else. The second one is, the soccer ball was a blank zipping into the net. My dog is a blank when we go on a walk. And the baby's cries were a blank. So here, you're just going to write something that is comparing this. You're going to make your own metaphors here. So here, like for question number 1, I can help you out. The sun was a blank in the sky. So we can also talk about like over here where they talked about the moon. They talked about the grapefruit, right? We can also put like the sun was a grapefruit in the sky. Why? Because what is the grapefruit compared to over here? Right? It was being compared as round and yellow, right? And isn't the sun round and yellow and big too? Yes, it is. So this could also be compared to the sun. So it's just an example. You can put anything as long as they're similar in a way. If you need any questions, please feel free to reach out, Matthew. I am always here to help you. Mr. Guzman is always here to help you. Once you are done, do not forget to submit it to Teams so we can give you a grade. Also, do not forget your thumbs up for attendance. It is important for them to see you're active. If not, they will mark you absent. Other than that, I hope you have a good rest of your day. We will see you here back tomorrow.